Welcome guys, welcome back to another episode here at Undying OGC, part of Original Gaming Culture. Today we're going to be looking at a hero named Rufio. Rufio is one of the starting heroes, although I would not recommend starting with him at all. I would highly recommend starting with Avalon if you're just starting out the game. Rufio, his primary purpose is in PvP. He is a stat beast. Because he can equip two weapons, he gives a lot of stats, which help out in PvP quite a bit. As you can see here, he is a gladiator, so he can benefit from the entire gladiator set if you would like. The gladiator set will also give him 200% more damage to massive creatures. However, for the sake of this example, we'll put him with a bit more of a combat type gear. So to see how Rufio works, we'll just take a quick peek in. And let's see here. Where is Rufio? I went by him. And we'll just throw something out random. So Rufio runs out and he does a couple swings here and there. Most of that damage is just coming from the super unit. Although this is against silver, Rufio really doesn't excel at much. He's just kind of a stat beast for PvP. When we look at his abilities, the first one we have is Heroic Leap. Heroic Leap allows him to jump in the air. He lands and he stuns everything around him. It does a little bit of damage. Usually nothing too crazy, but the stun could be worth it. It also allows him to reposition in the battle, which most heroes you can't do. Then he has Chopping Blade. Chopping Blade, kind of like every other champion where they have the passive with their auto attacks. His Chopping Blade will deal bonus damage to enemies in front of him. Then he has Strong Physique. Strong Physique, when it comes to PvP, this is going to be the primary skill that's always maxed out because it gives you a bunch of stamina. It also allows him to recover really fast after injuries, so rarely do people actually have to use revive potions. But it's mostly just here for a giant stamina boost that's pretty much free, gives you more stat points. Blade Dance, it reminds me of the Whirlwind ability for Barbarians in Diablo 2. Rufio just starts spinning around like crazy and chops up anything that comes near him. The damage is lackluster to say the least. Then we have Resilience. Resilience will allow him to automatically heal himself throughout the battle. And we have Destructive One. Destructive One increases the damage that Rufio can put out. So we'll go with a slightly more aggressive setup for Rufio to show you how amazing he can be when fighting, which really is not too amazing at all. But we'll go up against some level 10 bronze, and we'll see how that works out. And I need one more person that's not going to do much. There we go. All right, so let's see what Rufio has in store for us. So Rufio is doing some decent damage with his auto attacks. If we do his Heroic Leap, we can reposition him. He lands, he does a little bit of damage, and he also stuns everything around him. When we use his Blade Dance, it goes in a straight line. He spins around, pushes everything back, and deals some decent damage. So let's try that same setup again. Let's go against some slightly stronger units. So these are level 15 Rockin' Swordsmen that are silver. So again, we're running with the offensive setup with Rufio. Let's just jump right into the backlines because if there's one thing we know about Rufio, that is he likes to run into danger. So as you can see, he's tanking decently well here. Let's see if he can put out any damage. Pushes everybody back, doing a little bit of crit damage. So one last time for his offensive abilities. He can come on in, do a nice little leap attack, reposition himself. The blade dance it looks really nice. It's cosmetically appealing. However, it's kind of lackluster. It does reposition the enemy troops a bit, but it doesn't do too much. So when you go to set the abilities for Rufio, depending on what you want to accomplish, you may want to focus different skills. For the vast majority of people, you're just going to go with as much into strong physique as possible to get that stamina up, and then resilience for a little bit more defensive. If you've ever PvP'd with Rufio, you will quickly realize that he runs headfirst into the battle. Although he might not be the best one to be doing that, he does it, and he does it rather frequently. For everything else, you can absolutely put extra points into Chopping Blade for a little bit of extra damage. You can put extra points into Destructive One. Blade Dance and Heroic Leap, his two active abilities, really are not worth it. When you go to PvP, there's going to be so many skill tabs that pop up that I personally find having additional ones that are relatively useless, kind of like Rufio's skills, they just get in the way and they increase the chance to mess up during PvP. When we look at Rufio's stats, granted he's only level 44, he has pretty low attack, pretty low health. So the main points to take away from Rufio. Rufio is here as a giant stat booster. If you need more stamina for PvP, you can put 2 weapons on him, and then you can put 2 Hand of Wisdoms or the lamps, whatever you need. If you need more might, load him up with the Blink Daggers, put the Soul Blades on him, which is the setup that I have right now. He has a lot of natural stamina, so he'll naturally give you a big boost to stamina. When it comes to the Gladiator set, from the dragons, that is another thing that you can put on Rufio, although it's not going to help him out too much. But the Gladiator set will decrease damage that he takes by 35% if you have the whole set on. Again, it's whatever you need from Rufio as far as stats. So for stats, gear him to give you whatever amount of stats that you need. And then when it comes to building him for PvP, max out strong physique, max out resilience. When you have the extra skill cards, there's no reason to waste any on him when there's more important champions. And then put extra into Destructive One or into Chopping Blade. So that is Rufio. Tomorrow we will be covering Avril, the Ice Mage. Make sure you guys like the channel, subscribe, hit the big thumbs up button. Until then, keep farming, keep warring, and stay safe.